Hi guys, good evening. The network seems to be disturbed either side, and we have had to go back and forth several times due to the network issues. But here I am again hosting the seventh episode of Luca Live, and today we have a legend of Indian football. She's a legend to me because she has inspired a lot of women and a lot of people to take up the sport. She is a former national team captain and the first ever FIFA accredited female referee from India. So let me welcome Maria Rebello. Let me send her an invite. I hope this time everything goes well. We are attempting the session the third time because of some technical glitches. We have had delayed starts. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for all the unconditional love and support that you have tendered throughout the series of these episodes. The last episode was very well received by you all, and me and Amir, we were both overwhelmed and delighted by the support and the response that we got from you. So keep supporting us, keep following our sessions, and we will try to bring more and more stakeholders of Indian football as well as global football, because football is a vast sport. There are many departments, and there are thousands of people employed in the sport. So we must try to understand what goes behind the scenes and what their daily routines are. I'm trying to invite Maria. Guys, keep sending your questions. We will answer your questions. And this is an interaction between all of us. It's not just a one. Yeah, Maria, thank you.
Hi.
This time is the best.
So you can hear me now? I'm using my earphones now. In fact.
Perfect. Screen is also fine and audio is also good. Last time both screen and audio were disturbed. So this time you are both
Oh,
audible
is
and
that?
visible. Yes.
That's good.
Thank you, Maria, for being on the show. To me, you are a legend because you have inspired several women, several people to join the sport, and what you are doing is very challenging and unique. So, on behalf of my club and viewers, I express our gratitude to you.
Thank you for inviting me. It was my honor that you have invited me for this show.
Okay, Maria. So we will begin the show without wasting any time. And I will tell you how this show is going to be programmed. I have some questions, pre-recorded questions from viewers and from our own club
Mm-hmm.
members and staff. I'm going to ask you those
Mm-hmm.
questions. And during the show, we will take some questions live. So we'll try to answer
I
live
know.
questions as well. Okay. So shall we begin?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Let's start.
Right. So this is something that I ask routinely. This question I keep asking everyone. So I will not be different to you. So my very first question is: you were a former national team captain. You were the first ever FIFA accredited female referee from India. So tell me, what made you take up the sport? Brief me about your background story and how you started your career in football, and why did you choose football as a profession?
Oh, I should was well. This is a good question, and this question often been asked to me. And how I started for football. So, as you know, that I was born in that not in the electronic gadgets where now it is a fashion. During those days, there were no electronic gadgets like how you have these days. So those days, our activity mostly was outdoor activities. There were no hardly any indoor activities. And I used to play with my local boys that when I was small for fun. I never ever thought that it will one day it is going to be that one day I'm going to perform on the biggest stage. That never struck me at that moment. I didn't even know that the ladies plays football, and it just happened to me. And I was so proud of myself. I was playing with the boys. Even I played inter-ward with them for our men's team. And I never thought that there are ladies who play football during those days until my daddy took me to one match in Margao. And I didn't know that was a national event also. I just went, I watched, I saw some of our legendary Goan players playing there. But I never knew who, individually, I never knew because I've never been introduced to women's football. I just happened to watch those match and I could hear people from background calling out to Sukurin, Yolanda and all those. But I don't know who is who actually. But I could see Sukurin scoring from very far and you know, and they literally tried to opponent. I do not know who are the opponent because I think I was in fourth standard or third or fourth standard at that time. And I used to play with boys. And subsequently, after a few years, there was a trials taking place in Goa, and I was reluctant to join them because I was not having any boots. And my that time my brothers were playing for professional clubs in Goa, Cesar Goa, and the other one was playing for Railways also. And I did not have a sure boots because I used to play barefoot and that too in the field. And when my friend asked me to come and join for the camp, I said I showed some reluctance, like I don't want to join. But then I spoke to my brother when he came on the weekend home. I said, this lady is calling me to join for the football camp and all. And she told me that I stand a good chance. And then my brother brought me shoes and everything. And then then I went, the next day I went for the trials. The first day itself, the coach said, and I was coming from a village, I didn't know which position I have to play and all. So he just asked me, like, he saw my game, the way I was playing and all. And he asked me, tell me, Maria, which position you want to play? I said, I don't know. I want to score goals. That's it. Then he saw me playing, and after the match, he said, Maria, you can become a very good half for Goa, and where people will remember you. I said, okay, but from that position, can I score goals? He said, of course, you will get more opportunity to score a goal. The whole frame will be in front of you, and you will be able to score goals. And that like that it continued. And the worst part is the lady who took me for the trials, she was dropped and I was selected for the for the state team.
Oh,
Yeah, so that was really I didn't feel good about it, but it happened at that time. And thereafter i uh, I started playing in the first 11. I was never in the on the substitute bench. Right from the beginning, I always played in the first 11. And that's how the journey started at that time. Unknowingly, I
very
was just
nice.
playing for fun with my local boys. That was just fun I used to play.
Very interesting story, and you have a football background as well. Your brothers used to play, but the way your journey began, I mean, it happened naturally, right? You didn't want to become a footballer. Initially, it
No,
just
no, I never
happened.
ever thought, yeah. And secondly,
And
at
what
home
year
also,
are
my parents and all,
you?
my parents also, there was no restrictions from home. And in fact, my cousins, my parents, they all were, whatever I do, that was acceptable for them.
Okay, what year are we talking about? Which year was that when you started playing football? Which year did you join the
Uh,
women's team camp?
I think it was in 85 or 86, I think. That was the sub junior I
Oh,
played, I think. 80, yeah, yeah. I think
more
so.
than 30
I
years.
forgot about it.
You
Yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
forgot the year. It happens. I mean, it has been more than 35 years, but it's a very interesting story. And you mentioned that your brothers supported you, right, during the process.
Yes.
They were the ones who encouraged you to take up the sport, and it went on for you. But when you became a referee, when that transition happened from a player to a referee, what was their support like, and how did they react? to your decision of becoming a referee?
Okay, just give me 1 second. I'll just put off the AC because it is too on a high note.
Sure, sure. My questions have been.
Yeah. I'm back. I'm back. It was too
Yeah.
on a high note. I don't want to. Yeah.
I just made a funny remark that my questions are heating you up, and I can see that you are warmed up. Yeah, please tell me about that transition
Yeah, after playing
when
for
that happened.
so after I finished playing, once I decided to quit from playing football. Before that, also I have set my eyes to become a referee, and my colleagues and some of my friends from Bombay and all they were in fact pushing me and motivating me to get into refereeing. And I have also done my C license course where I was interested to become a coach and under Gabriel sir. And after that, I was that time a referee, but not a national referee. But I was class beginner at that time, amateur referee. And then I used to do some matches and all in Bombay. And I got very good encouragement in Bombay when I was in Bombay. And then when I came back to Goa, even the Goa Football Association, they welcomed me with open hands and then open arms. And then they first started giving me some good matches, the local matches. And that's how I started to become. I developed that interest, and then I was wanted to do matches, and I started really liking those. Being a referee, I started liking that job, and that profession was really good. And at the same time, I wanted to coach also. But then my association people they asked me which one you want to. I said I want to become a referee because primarily because I want to be on the field of play. I said I don't want to sit in the technical area and give instructions. That I'm still. I said I have a very good fitness and I can execute those fitness into refereeing. And they all agree. They all agree. And then thereafter there was no looking back. And I was fully focused. I was. That has become my passion. And once it become your passion, you go to any level for it to achieve your goals.
Maria, to be honest, you are the first person who's telling me. I've met a lot of ex-players, a lot of footballers who are currently playing football, but believe me, none of them ever told me that they want to become a referee at any stage of their career. So, I mean, you are the first person who I'm interacting with who always had this vision of becoming a professional referee. But then I would like to ask you one question about it. Why don't we see ex-football players becoming referees? Why don't they take that as a career alternative? Why do they become coaches, broadcasters, analysts? Why not referees?
Maybe because of their lack of fitness. No. I'm just joking.
Yes.
That is a good question. I want this ex-players after you finish playing, you have to come join. You have to join into refereeing. But you cannot after you play. How long you will play? You will play till 35. Okay, or more or less 35, 35, 36, 37 you will play. And thereafter you thinking of joining the refereeing, that is too late now. Earlier it was happening. Like once you finish, once you get tired of playing, then you would join into refereeing. But now, like now, you can make a referee as your career. So it is always good that you start at the young age. And if you wait till you finish and till you burn out and then you think of becoming a referee, that is too late. And secondly, at the most, what you will achieve? You will achieve maybe national level match, a state level or national level. But if you have a wish to becoming a FIFA referee, then you have to join at a very young age. Once you realize yourself, once you realize your potential that you cannot make it into a big, uh, like into a not becoming a big player, or understand your drawbacks. I won't be able to make it in the in the first team or the first 11, or I cannot make it to to that up to that level. So once you realize that it is better you come and join into wrestling at a young age, at around 25, 26, 27. That will really that going to fetch you a great deal. You can become a FIFA referee. You can become, first of all, you can become a national referee and then FIFA referee. Then you can officiate. You can now there are so many tournaments coming up for the referees now. We have ISL, we have baby leagues are going on, and we have underage leagues. So there are a lot of matches now for the referee. So now as a referee, you can make a career. No need to wait till you get retired. Once you see your drawbacks, now you cannot make it in the first level or into the team, then you can realize, yeah, better I should shift my focus into referee.
Yeah, you have mentioned some interesting points. You said that fitness is one of the aspects which is heavily sought in the refereeing field. You have to be very fit. You have to run more than players. But then most of the referees are in their mid 40s, mid 50s, mid 30s. I don't see young referees. As you mentioned that people are not so keen about refereeing games because of their fitness issues, because they want to sit back and enjoy things at home. But then there is another issue with referees, especially in India. Do you think that the profession is not lucrative enough to attract anyone to become a referee? Do you think that we are lagging behind in that aspect on the financial economical part? Because I have seen some referees, for national level referees, I League, ISL referees, who are refereeing games as well as doing uh, other activities. They are employed at other professions on a part-time basis. Why is it so?
Yeah, what you said is uh, correct. Some of them are working. Some referees are working because they are not getting enough matches. But to tell you frankly, there are a lot of matches now. I don't know about which state you're referring to, but in my state, if I'm in Goa, we have a lot of tournaments for the referees. Like we have baby league, we have underage tournaments, under 70, under 14, under 18, under 17. We have a league, then we have a pro league for under 18, under 19. Then we have a first division, second division, third division. Then we have professional league. Then we have police cup and blah blah blah. Means n number of tournaments we have for the referee. But still, our referees are working because the salary what they get is not they cannot won't be able to run the family because most of them are married and they have some of them they have to look after their family, so that financial part is not very strong, so therefore they are working. But anyhow they manage because of the love of football. Some of the referees they they put leave or somehow they manage and come and do the matches. So this is really a welcome move from them. But as you said, financially, that package what they get is not very lucrative. But things are working now. Things are working. It is not that end of the world, but then now things are working. Now people who are working in the federation, they know the importance about the financial part. So now they're working on it, and obviously the things will be sorted out in the coming years.
Fingers crossed. We hope so. We really
Yeah,
hope
fingers crossed.
referees
Yeah.
get referees get all the support because they are such an important member of the game. Without referees, football cannot be possible. They are as important as the players. So when we talk about Indian referees, they have received a lot of criticism about their qualities, about the style of refereeing, and every after almost after every game, the first thing coaches will comment will be on referees. First thing they will mention is about referees. So I understand that the profession is very challenging, and you have to make decisions instantly. You don't have technology or any kind of support on the field. You have to make decisions in 4 or 5 seconds. So I understand that things can go wrong. It is very genuine, But what more can be done, to support the referees to make them become better and excel in their field? Why are Indian referees so heavily criticized? What do you think is missing? Is it the motivation factor, or is it lack of adequate training? What is it?
That is a big, big, big thing here. You asked me so many questions in one on one go. Okay, that's first thing I'll talk about the criticism. Who doesn't get criticism in this world?
True.
Everybody gets criticized. Everybody gets criticized. It is not only the referees get criticized. Even the coaches have been criticized. Coaches, after achieving champions in the I League, 5 I League championship, after having 5 or 3 I League champions, still the coaches been criticized. The players have been criticized. So
True. That
everybody
is true.
in football pattern, everybody is been criticized. But if we stop and if we, if we react to the criticism, I don't think so we are going to achieve anything. But yes, there is a constructive criticism is accepted, and the criticism also, in fact, helps you to grow. It makes you tough, and people who criticize, they don't know how they are helping the other person actually. By
Is it?
criticizing, they're making the obviously that person, like in my case, if criticize, I know that that person is in fact helping me to become more tough, and is in fact helping me that I may be gone somewhere wrong, so he's helping me to maybe I was wrong. So the criticism part is there is criticism everywhere. It is not only to the referees. Even sometimes referee does good. People don't understand the rules, and what happens? People they draw their own conclusion, but later they come to know, oh, the referee was right. But yes, as you said, uh, in a refereeing aspect, I'll tell you one thing that mistakes happen, and mistakes are yes, mistakes happen, so it is accepted. But we don't accept as a referee also they will not accept blunders where because it's
True.
your fault the team is winning or team is lost, the other team won because of my mistake. That is unacceptable. Even the referees will realize this. So this part
So
is
why?
and second it is all this that is sport. So whether you win, how you win, that is one has to accept. That is one has to in the end one has to accept that this is also a sport and the mistake happen with everybody. If we always criticize the referee when he makes a silly mistake, but when a star player missing a golden chance scoring opportunity, that time the coach cannot say a word because he's a star. But the referee is always the soft target.
True. So referees are scapegoats, and it has become a norm, especially for foreign coaches. Immediately in the post-match comment, the first thing they will point out is referees. They will just go on
Yeah,
about
they're putting
referees.
pressure. That is not a, that is the strategy to put a pressure onto the referee. But now
But
referees
do
are
you
also
think
very
it's?
smart. But they also been trained.
But do you think that it might be related to the technical part? Referees are not being groomed properly in India. Something might be missing during the process of the training. Do you think that referees are
No,
not
no, I
groomed?
don't think so. I don't think so. This is correct because the referees in India for any before the tournament they are being given refresher course and like before the ISL. I don't know about this ISL, but every ISL before the ISL they would go for a course. They will have a refresher course, and in that course they will invite some foreign instructors, and they are given enough. Information, the latest teaching material have been used, their fitness has been checked, everything is been monitored, and I don't think so. They get, I think in fact, our referees are very fortunate in India to have uh, to get that all the information that is required, or the other foreign officials uh, in comparison to foreign officials. Yes, they also on the same page.
True. Foreign referees are also criticized in the most popular leagues. I'm a fan of a team, so I can relate to this factor. And I also used to criticize referees in India
We used
after
to
every
criticize referee, huh?
yeah, I will be honest to you. But now I understand that the process, how their life is inside out, what all they have to go through. And as you mentioned, later on, we realized that referees were right. And most of us don't even know the rules. So we just react to other people. We don't analyze the situations. And to be honest, most of us don't even understand the rules. I'm talking about the fans in general. So, guys, please be lenient on
So
referees.
you admitted, huh?
Yes, that's how referees are trained in India. They undergo uh, technical process, technical training, and only after receiving checks, receiving certificates, they are allowed to officiate games. It's not just they are handpicked from streets or local matches. So just like coaches, just
Yeah,
like
they have
players,
been
referees
monitored.
are.
All the while they have been monitored. All the while they have been monitored. Their laws of the game. They have been given trivia. Then they have done some practicals. Then also their fitness test. Everything is been monitored.
Yes, and you have been relying on this word fitness, fitness, fitness. So we all want to know what is the fitness regime of referees? What do they eat? What is their diet chart? And how do they prepare themselves for games? Can you talk us about the fitness elements? How referees keep themselves fit? What kind of routine they follow? What do they eat? How are you people so fit, even at 50, 40, 60? What is the secret? Please tell me.
Once you become a referee, once you become a player, it is your duty one to maintain your fitness by hook or by crook. You cannot wait for the federation or the trainer to do something for you. As a player, I'll give you my example. As a player, I would never depend on the national camps to become fit. My fitness was here only in Goa. When I go for the national camps, I'm fit. I'm extraordinary. I should maintain my extraordinary fitness all the while, and I should never depend on them. Once I go to the camp and I will get fit. No, so also our referees. They know that once their fitness test is passed, they clear the fitness test, meaning they have renewed their badge in
Right,
their
right.
own
I
state
just want you.
as
You
an
have
as
been
a
very
national level
diplomatic.
and the FIFA level.
You are going to keep it secret, no problem. We will find out
No, no, no. But
what you
still,
eat
we
very.
we eating habits. Eating habits. The important is uh, on the day of the match. What you eat, that is important, and the timing when you are going to eat, that is also important. The timing. You cannot eat the food just 1 hour before the match. You cannot eat food just 2 hours before the match. So that is important. Some referees they eat 2 or 2.5 hours before the match. For me, if the match is at 4 o'clock, I will definitely take my grub at 12:30. And thereafter, before the match, I may take some cookies or some chocolate before the match. But during the match, during the match, just water, or sometimes I drink Energen, kind of sports drink. And after the match, always a banana. And the very
Right.
important is the next day, how you your recovery. So that is important.
Okay, okay. Maria, another thing I would like to ask you. You said that players can become referees after playing football or during the time of their
Not necessary.
profession. They can, yes. So I wanted to know specifically if someone who has not played the game, how can they become referees? What is the process of becoming a referee for the normal
Same
people?
process. Same process. When you are a player also, you have to go to the same process. If you're not a player, again you have to go to the same process. Only thing what is required is the passion, then courage, and your character. So these three things you must have. It's not required that not necessary if you are not a player, but you have a passion. You have been watching, you have been following football, and you have to now you realize you want to do something in football. So you are welcome. You are welcome. So it's not necessary that you have to be a player. No, not at all. I have seen many referees in India as well as in abroad also who have never played football, but they are very good referees because they have a very good understanding of football. So that is required. Understanding football understanding has to be there. So if you have
Right.
this quality of football understanding, so that means you can become a good player. And only thing, as I said, you need to have a passion. Yes,
Right. So all the people who are watching Maria speak, you can also become a referee tomorrow. We just need to have the dedication and the knowledge of the sport. So it's very easy. So please become referees because we need more referees. We need the
yeah. We
referees to
need
be.
we need. Please come and join referees. Please. My request to all of you who are the viewers, come and join into refereeing. Join
Right.
referee and just see the fun. You will definitely you will achieve a lot. What you have not achieved as a player, you are definitely going to achieve as a referee.
Right. And so we discussed a lot of stuff on referees. And now I want to discuss women's football predominantly because women's football is also an important issue, an important element of the sport. And many clubs are becoming serious about women's football. We are one of them. We are also planning to uh, launch a women's team in the professional level and compete in the women's team. Yes.
That's
So
a very good line I heard from you. That now clubs are very serious about taking up women's football. Thumbs up.
we were planning to start, in fact, this year itself, but because of the pandemic, our plans got halted. Even our senior team has not been trained. So we have to schedule it next year, but it will happen. I'm giving you a promise that Lucas Soccer Club will officially launch their women's team. And tell me
Very
one
good.
thing, Maria. Yes, about women's football. When we look at women's football, we see the senior teams, under 23 teams. We look at the topmost level. But when we look down, when we look below, there is absolutely nothing. I will tell you in a very hardcore, straight manner. There are not much there isn't any academy, to be honest, training women's footballers, and in grassroots level, that department has been neglected. So, what do you think clubs can do to change this habit, this tradition of not having women's team in grassroots level, youth level? What do you think can be done?
I really appreciate your question that you have shown that concern that what club can do. Normally, people ask me what the AFF is doing. You must not wait for the AFF. You must wait what you can do. AFF will be definitely going to help you, but it is the way you said it because I really appreciate that what clubs can do to to raise women's football at a grassroots level. Yes, we like how we have a baby league for boys. I think now it is a need of the hour that we should start having a baby league for ladies as well. Also, I have this was been going in my mind last 3 years that every club, whenever they're having a underage tournament for boys, especially under 12 or under 14, in the first 11 they can put one girl because it is where in their internal tournament. Yeah, two girls. So you can replace the player who's that girl, and then you can replace with this girl who is outside. So if there are 10 clubs, and if they have two ladies or two girls registered, you just imagine you just underage, like he's under 16. You just imagine, and then you can have an open trial for the others who've been left out and who have a talent, whose talent is not been tested. So you can have an open trial plus this 20 players. You will get another few players, and you can really the result which boys cannot give you, you can achieve it through ladies.
Yeah, the
Only
one way
thing you
you
have to start.
explained it. Yeah, one way you explained is merging of the sport, including women's footballers in the men's level. But then only 20, 30 players will get opportunities. And then they have to like
There will be
Looking at
a
them, there are others will
disbalance.
come now. Looking at them, once he's
True,
like
that,
club level under 12.
true. But do
So
you think
once,
that,
yeah, once,
please go.
go ahead.
No, I said, do you think that instead of merging two genders, can we have something done specifically for women's footballers? Like, can we start new
It can be
leagues
done at
only
a,
for?
yeah, it can be done at a grassroots level because and the youth level. I'm not talking about under 15. So under 15 comes under youth level. So if you are under 12 and the baby league and under 14, there you can put ladies, no, like some one girl or two, one girl, and then if she's tired, you can replace her with another one. And that is,
Right, right.
I don't think so. It is going to, uh, it is going to harm the result of the match. I don't think so.
It will not harm the result, but definitely the ratio factor will still be there, and this will become a debate whether. Yes, it will
Long back
fight.
in Goa, we spoke about this in Goa a few years back, and then we just need somebody to push up this. Even actually, it is a very good idea if you want to lift or upgrade women's football. So I feel this is the only way out, or else you have to have constantly. You need to have, or periodically, you need to have tournaments for ladies. Where I hardly see any tournaments coming up for ladies.
That was the part I was talking about, having exclusive tournaments like the Women's League, which just concluded, and the winner was also a club from Kerala. So I hope to see more and more tournaments like the Women's League. I'm sure you must have followed Indian Women's League, which Gokulam Kerala won last season.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So were you a part of that tournament? Did you officiate games? I'm sorry, you are an instructor, no, but were you keeping tabs?
Yeah, women's football. I always keep a eye, or I always I watch their progress and keep a note. And secondly, see now there are a lot of tournaments coming up for senior women's. Uh, like during our days, there was only one nationals for senior team. Now there is a senior nationals, then there is a IWL, then there is a SAF Cup, then there is the SAG Games, and then they even qualify. They play qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers or Olympic qualifiers, AFC qualifiers. During our days, there was only one tournament, and after 2 years, there was an Asian Championship. So one Asian Championship which is going to come after 2 years, we would practice for 2 years continuously for that. And now there are so many tournaments coming up for senior women, and even they go for exposure trip before any tournament, any major tournament comes up. It is a very good sign. Very encouraging. I feel this is very encouraging for our players. We are getting exposure, and then they realize, then they come to know where they stand. They can analyze their own game. This too, and they can improve. You don't need coach also for that matter. They will by playing with the foreign teams, they will understand where they stand, and that's how they have been performing now quite well. Last 1.5 years they have been performing, but still big uh, task is ahead. They have to achieve a lot.
Right. Completely agree with you, Maria. So, I think you briefly summarized the differences between women's football now
But
and
I still
what
feel,
it was.
but I feel that we should do something for at grassroots level, like how you asked me this
Exactly.
question. I'm very much interested in grassroots level, and this is the option which I have given for the that is for the state level, not for the uh, for the national championship. For the state level, at least you can start making girls play with the boys.
True, states need to take the initiative, and one state,
Yeah, yeah.
one step, state, sorry, once states start this in a full-fledged way,
Then
then I'm sure
all
it will.
others will follow. Definitely, all
True,
others
true,
will follow. You just need a start, as you said. Correct.
true. Then it will happen nationally too. It will happen in a full-fledged national way. So I think we see that sooner than later. So, and you also summarized what women's football is now and what it was during your playing days. There have been uh, some differences, right? There have been some changes to what it was back then and what it is now. At least we know some tournaments, some women's players.
Yes.
But when you were playing, there was zero knowledge, right?
It
Zero
everything
awareness
went
of.
unnoticed. Everything went unnoticed. And during our time, I can tell you, if you ask me to describe football at that time, I would simply say power, skill, physical. We were not like delicate darlings at all. It was power, skill, and physical.
True. And you said that you went to a regional championship in Goa. You attended a game between SESA and another club or academy. So
Sorry.
back those days, you said that you went to see a match, a
Mm.
football match between SESA Goa and another club and academy. So back then, back in your days, uh, did we have more state level championship in women's football?
Oh, I told you, no, uh, there were hardly women's league in Goa or in any other state also. There were no leagues only. And there was only one tournament, maybe just one sub-junior tournament, one junior tournament, and one senior tournament. That was it during our days. And there was Federation Cup and all that. That was after 2 years. I don't know about that. And then and there was a different association at that time, Women's Football Association of India. Something I forgot about that association. And then there was a All India Football Federation. And then finally they merged. And that time we started getting the opportunity. Once it was merged, then we started getting opportunity. And I would say that AFF had taken good care at that time. But only thing, there were no women's league started.
Right, right. So in future, if you are given the opportunity to maybe uh, provide a technical assistance to women's football, you will be happy to do that, right?
Of course, anything for women's football and for football.
We need people like you, and I hope that the stakeholders who are a part of this broadcast, I hope that they include you for the better of women's football. You are not just experienced, but you are also trained and qualified enough to take the sport to another level, another dimension. And you have got some interesting ideas as well. So I hope it becomes fruitful soon. I would like to see you. So
Definitely,
you,
definitely, I will, and I have a lot of plans also for women's football in Goa. So I'm discussing about it at grassroots level.
right. And after we start a women's team, we might invite you to help us with the functioning
Fair
and
enough.
with the
Definitely,
development.
definitely. My pleasure, my pleasure. Anything for women's football and football.
So you are in, right? I am taking that as a yes.
Definitely, whatever I said, it's recorded, and I will definitely go with my
So
word.
Maria Rebelo has said on record that she will be a part of our women's football team or whatever developments we do in the future
In
in
whatever
that regards.
capacity, obviously.
True, true. So, as an instructor, what what are the things you have been doing to help the future generation shape up? How does the future generation of referees look, and how many women officials can we see in the near future?
Due to this pandemic this year, we have been giving classes only on Zoom. We are trying to have classes, but as you know, we are not getting very strong network. So there are lots of distractions, so which is not good when you are interacting. But we are really missing those days where We would take them on the field to some practicals. In Goa, what we normally do is every Sunday, every first Sunday we used to meet of the every first Sunday of the month. We would meet and then we would give them some instructions. We'll give demos how to run with the flag, and then we will discuss about the latest amendments and many other activities we would do. And secondly, and then uh, in that particular week, uh, the referees who have been engaged with the matches. So if there were any issues, those issues also we would discuss on Sundays, and we would rectify those. If there are any mistakes done by the referees or some blunders or they have not followed the rules, so we would discuss and then fix the problem there and there itself, so that it doesn't get repeated in the next match. And there were a lot of activities we were doing for the referees, and then finally we realized that there was a younger lot of referees. So what we did is we segregated all those were young referees, and then we started giving them. We were taking care of them separately, and that's how we were moving ahead. And now because of this pandemic, everything got what do I say? Got
Everything
jeopardized
stuck
all our plans. Like
through and
yeah,
jeopardized as well.
everything's stuck. Yeah, yeah. But still, we are working. We are trying to catch hold of the young referees so that we will have a next FIFA referee in Goa. We already have
We
one
wish you
Tejas.
the
Now
best.
we are going to.
We wish you
So
the
this is
best,
and this is a
Maria.
trend not only in Goa, and with all the other states also. They are doing. They're having virtual classes for the referees. They're keeping them on toes. They're giving the fitness instructions also, how to
Right,
maintain their fitness during lockdown. Everything they have been, they have been fed.
right. Maria, just a minute. My phone
Mm,
uh, is low on charge. I'm just putting it on charge again. It has very low charge.
okay.
Yes, it's charging now. Yes, Maria, we have been getting a lot of overwhelming responses. Our viewers are really enjoying the session and they're taking a liking to it. So uh, we will ask some questions. We will take some questions from our viewers and I will ask them one at a time and then we can start answering them. Okay. So people who are a part of this session, you can send your questions. Any question you have for Maria, just type it and she will answer it. She's here to answer all questions. And before we do that, Maria, I will move to the next segment. So this is a
Okay.
one-liner segment and you have to answer these questions in one line or in words. You cannot take a lot of time. And these are some interesting, exciting questions. I hope that you also find it as exciting as I have been. Okay, so shall we go?
Fair enough.
All right. So please tell me how many matches have you officiated so far?
That is a big question, but I have to download now because it's not that I do not know, but I have to download it. But I have done a lot of matches, and whatever the matches I have done, it is all superb. Especially the men's matches. Uh, really, I really enjoyed. But I've done matches all over India, all over Indonesia, everywhere. But I
Can you
cannot
still
give you
give
that
us a?
exact number. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no problem. Can happen. You must try. You must collect all the data and information, and try to figure out how many matches you have been to. I'm assuming more than 100 because you don't have memories.
100,
Professional
no, that
level
was
memory.
one season in Goa. In Goa, in one season, I have done 110 matches in one season. That was a big
In
number.
professional football.
Yes, yes. No, footballer, no, as
Oh
a
my God.
referee in Goa.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
one
have
season.
refereed. You have refereed more than 100 matches in a season in professional football, in the topmost level, right?
Yeah,
Professional level, that is.
yes. Yeah, one season.
Oh my
But just
goodness.
imagine now how many matches I have done in thousands.
Oh, it is surely in thousands.
If
So
I
I
compare my
understand.
local matches as well. Mm.
Right, right. Oh, that's huge. And that's absurd. Okay, Maria, second question. Have you ever been threatened by officials or players during or after any game? Has anyone tried to intimidate you?
No, but whenever I have been abused, whenever been abused, meaning uh, in my year I avoided, but the abuse is heard by the entire public with gestures. That person I have shown the way, shown the door. That I have never
Oh,
shown any mercy for that. Straight away red card. But if you abuse me in my ear and no one else heard it, I can still tolerate because that I was the matches what I was doing was the top level matches. For silly things I cannot send a player out. But the player had abused me publicly means that the entire audience heard that. So no mercy.
I think there is a law now that if you swear at referees, you can get carded. I think it's yellow card. It might be a red card. I'm not sure. Can you correct
Red
me?
card for abusive language. There is no yellow card for
It's a
abusive
red.
language. Either you just
Right.
avoid, you just ignore that, or else you have to show a red card.
Okay, okay. So, can you tell me in numbers how many matches you played for the national team, senior national team?
Senior national team. Oh my goodness, that is another.
Or you
So
can just
again,
tell
big
me how
number.
many. You
I
can just tell
started
me how
playing for yeah. I started in '95 until 2001. I played for Indian team.
6 years.
Yeah,
And how many years did you captain the team?
I captain in 2001 and 2002 I retired and I took up in I came into refereeing.
Okay, okay. And how many games did you play in Kerala or officiated? Any
Officially,
idea?
I played one. Officially or unofficially, I'll tell you both. Unofficially, I played lot of sevens in Kerala
Sevens.
and sevens, of course, yeah, and got lot of money also there. And then
Do they
unofficially, I
allow?
played.
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you
Yes,
off. Do they allow women footballers to play sevens? I've never seen any female lady playing
no, no, I
sevens. Is it
we played. Uh, I think we played in 90s. I believe 90s. Yeah, we played in 90s, and association was not happy about it. But still, we would go and play there because we're getting a lot of money. But there were no tournament for us, and that's how I maintained my fitness playing with this Kerala players. Kerala, yeah. So I played a lot of sevens there, and that is unofficially. And officially, I played one tournament that is South Zone tournament that is inter-university tournament at Tiruvalla. And there we were the champions, and I bagged best player of the tournament there. And from there, out and out, we went to Amritsar to play the All India Inter-University tournament. And there also I got the best player.
right?
And
But
this
you
was
must be
fun playing
aware
in
that,
Kerala.
yeah, exactly. And it's also fun working in Kerala. You have so many passionate people following the game, trying to do everything possible. Football is a religion in Kerala. And my our club is based in Malappuram, which is the football capital in the
Yeah,
state.
yeah, football capital. I heard about Malappuram. Oh my, that is, they do anything for football. And I have
True,
a
they
very
can
bad
go anywhere.
experience in Tiruvalla during the match. I scored a 7 goal against my own team, and that was the only goal that we got in the entire tournament. And that was not my mistake. I'll tell you, this was and absolutely not my mistake. It was my coach who asked me to pass the ball to the goalkeeper because the entire match the goalkeeper didn't receive any ball. So he said, Maria, Poor girl, she's just waiting. At least he give one ball, and I was next to the technical area. Just imagine. From there, I just took a lob. I mean, lob in the sense, I just chipped the ball. Before this goalkeeper came out. I don't know whether she heard this conversation between me and the coach, and it went just over her head into the goal.
Oh, but you must have also kept in mind that there were no goals as well. The match was stalemate. It was 0-0. So instead of
Yeah,
passing
no,
the
no, no,
ball,
no, 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 no. We were leading by 8 or 9 goals that day. So
oh, okay,
the
okay,
coach,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So
Then
that's
it's
why the
fine.
coach said, yeah, the coach said, you all already scored, and then he was shouting at me aggressively. He was, insisting me, pass the ball to the goalkeeper, pass the ball to the goalkeeper. I was ignoring it, and finally I said, okay. I just turned. In fact, I was trying to put the ball ahead, but I stopped it. And I chipped the ball. The goalkeeper that time already was out. It went over her head. And the goal was good.
Okay, Maria, I have a question here from Raju. He's asking me how
From
difficult, from Raju, he's a fan, he's a viewer. Raju is asking how difficult or easy is it for women professionals to work with men in football? How difficult or easy is it to work with the other counterparts, the male counterparts, for anyone, for a coach, for football players, referees? How do you see yourself working with them, and how has the experience been so far working with male counterparts?
I don't have any problem if the lady is fully knowledgeable and she knows what she's doing, and if she's qualified. I don't think so. There is any reason for her, not to not to work with the counterpart. I mean the men counterpart. I don't think so. Unless when you are fully knowledgeable, when you know that you will deliver. Sometimes I feel that I can deliver better than the men. When you have that confidence, yes, I can work. Yes, of course, in some cases, when it comes to fitness, I know I can compete with the men. My fitness is good, extraordinary. I have that full confidence in me. And that's how I did some men's matches as well.
Right.
I did all the tournaments, like Santosh Trophy, Duran Cup, Federation Cup, I League.
Right.
So
So I
in
have
this
an
case also, if the lady is qualified, fair enough. You have to give a chance. Come on.
right, and that makes sense. That was a very good answer, Maria. So Raju, you have your answer now. Shahid is asking, where are you from? I know this, but you should tell all the viewers.
Don't they think that I'm from Kerala? I'm from Goa.
You're from Goa. Right.
You're Goan.
Okay, Maria. Right. And Goa has been one of the hubs of Indian football. It has always competed and given us so many good players, clubs, coaches,
So also Kerala.
referees.
So also Kolkata.
Yeah, I'm from Bengal. You know that. You know that, right? I'm from Kolkata.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, Maria. Before we wrap this session, it has already been an hour, so we'll try to just close this as soon as possible. You may have other commitments, and there is an ISL game as well. So please, a quick message for everyone.
Quick message for everyone. Okay. Footballers. Yes, work hard. Work hard. There is no substitute for hard work. And when you work hard, it's not you will bought the results overnight. But I think you may not get the result immediately as you wish. It might not happen, but your hard work will not go unnoticed. You will be rewarded. So all you have to do is patience. And this pandemic has shown us we need to be patient. We
Patience is the
cannot,
key.
we need to follow the order lines. And the last line is when you move on, mask on.
Wow, I like that line. Thank you, Maria, for your time, for being a part of the session today. I had fun talking to you,
Thank you,
and
Vaiba, for inviting me. It was pleasure talking to you, and I hope we can meet soon and we'll do something for women's football. I'm always there for women's football.
We'll do something constructive, and please keep following our developments. We keep sharing all the activities regularly on our page, and we are everywhere on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So we have national ambitions, and last season we finished third in the KPL. And last season was our maiden season. So our club is only 3 years old, but in 3 years we have been able to make marks
Is
in
Vijayan
the
working with you?
professional level. Sorry,
Is Vijayan working with you? I am Vijayan.
Am Vijayan is not working with anyone. He's an autonomous
But now
person,
he's with
and you can. He knows us. He knows our club. But then he's such a big figure that clubs like us, we cannot compare ourselves with others. We cannot even. But it's for
he's a nice person.
other reasons. It's for other reasons. Yeah, please tell me about Vijayan and tell our viewers about your interaction with him. Have you met him?
I met him. He's my good friend and he's my favorite Indian player.
Oh wow!
You don't need to look elsewhere if you want to hear the inspiration stories. He is the biggest example for all of us. You don't need to look elsewhere.
He's
His
like a
journey, his journey from as a ball boy and then playing in the state team, then you're playing for the country, and then you play for Mohun Bagan, and then East Bengal. And then you're going for, then you get a reward that is Arjuna Award. Except, extraordinary journey. And I really
man.
like him. I really like him. He had taken one selfie with me, but I did not have that picture. If you meet him, just ask him to send a picture.
Sure. We will remind him
I met
about
him.
the
I
selfie.
met him last year at the airport at Kochi. He was there, and then I saw him. Hey, then he came, and then he clicked some pictures with me and my another instructor. I must be knowing him, Inatullah sir from Bangalore. So all three of us took one selfie. And he is having the selfie. He has never shared with us.
So we hope that you are able to take more selfies, more pictures with him in the future. And he's such a
Yeah,
legendary
looking
figure.
forward.
He is our own Maradona, and coming to Maradona, we were all moved and
I
we were
totally agree
shocked.
with you.
We were shocked by his demise, sudden demise,
Oh.
and we offer our condolences to all his followers. And I never saw him play because
I'm the biggest follower of Maradona.
I was late. I'm a 90s kid, so I never saw Maradona play or Vijayan play. I
Mhm.
started watching football in 2006, and Baichung
Oh, I
Bhutia
missed
was
out much. He might hope he doesn't kill me. I missed out. I said Mohun Bagan is Bengal. And then after he played for Churchill Palace in Goa.
Vijayan, right? Yes.
How could I miss that?
He will not kill you. He will not kill you, I can assure you that. And we look forward to seeing you soon, seeing you in person, and look forward to more interactions. Thank you, Maria. Wish you a very good
Thank you
night.
so
Take
much.
care of yourself. Take care of your family.
Take care, you
Okay,
too. Take
guys,
care of your
that was.
family. Take care of everything.
Thank you, Maria. Okay, guys, that was Maria Rebello, all the way from Goa, legend of Indian football, and we had fun interacting with her. And we are going to post this video on our YouTube channel, so stay subscribed. We are going to share it everywhere, and please keep liking our pages. Please also give a lot of engagements to this particular video because I am trying to bring as many stakeholders as possible. So I will be back soon and stay safe. Take care. Bye bye. God bless you all. Thank you, Maria.
God bless.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.